Hello and welcome. I'm Karen Eiton and I'm from Talent to Profits, and I'm here today to show you how to make handmade organza flowers from scratch. I know a lot of people are interested in flowers, especially it being springtime and with weddings and everything going on. It is a nice little way to be able to add some decor to your home or to a wedding or any kind of a function that you have. It's also nice to be able to make and to sell them online. For some of you that don't have a whole lot of a sewing experience, this is one way that all you have to do is just sew a straight line and put the flower together at the end. But so I just wanted to bring you a tip today, and a creative business tip, and I think that it can, get you inspired and want to do something to make and maybe to sell online or to make for your own function. I thought it's kind of like a nice little DIY project. Anybody can pretty much do it. I will be showing you one technique today that I pray and I hope that you will take and do outside. So you want to burn your the organza so it doesn't unravel, but you want to do that outside. I have a candle here just to show you the technique, but it should be performed outside. So caution on that, and make sure that you do it outside. That's very important. So today I want to talk to you about cutting the organza, and I have two different colors here that I've cut from. But I want to show you that I've already cut some of the strips just to make the video shorter and to go a little bit faster. But as you can see, it's kind of like in a wave pattern. It kind of just waves in and out. And then I just do them about, they're probably about 2.5 inches, depending. So I cut one off of this. I have it doubled. I have the fabric doubled here. So you just lay it flat. And then you just cut, this is one that I already cut. So it was a raw edge like this side. It was raw edge here. And then I just made the wave. But then in doing so, then I have another wave that it created. So then I just take a straight line and just cut straight. So then I have another one already in the wave pattern. So that's how you cut it. And the cutting part goes pretty fast. The part that takes the time is to burn. So I don't know, the fabric was probably about, I don't know how long it was. Let's see here, we can get an idea, maybe 32, 34 inches long, and folded, in half. So then I hope you can see this on the film. It might have, maybe you can. So you just take the fabric and you don't have to put it totally in. Ooh, I'm talking and it almost burned it out. But you can see as you just go along that it's singeing the edges of the material. So this way it won't unravel, and then you'll have a nice flower. And the burning process actually makes the flower look a little bit realistic, because flowers are not always, perfect, So this will help. Ooh, I should have done it the other way, I think. So I do the edge here a little bit because it has the little raw edge there, which we'll hide when we do it. And then I end up doing the straight edge too, but I just do it kind of fast, just to get some of those frayed edges off of there. And then when you put it on you mount it onto something, you can't see all of that frayed edge. But please do this outside. My husband would have a fit if he knew that I was doing this inside. So I'm going to blow the candle out and move that now. Sit in here for now. Okay, so then we have our pieces. So I've done I've done a few ahead of time, so that way we could run them off like in a production style. So I have them stacked up here on the side of I have a little stool here, and I have them stacked up here, the ones that I've already burned, and not very many. We're just going to run it just so you get the idea. And I have a little plastic tub in front of my machine. I'll turn my machine on. It's going to be a little bit loud. And I just have this regular white all-purpose, thread on, just nothing fancy. And then on the straight edge, you want to first you want to have your machine set at the highest number, which mine is 5. Like some of the older machines, I believe it's a 6, but you want to have it where the stitch length is long. So when it says 5, that's actually 5 stitches per inch. Now if it were 3, that would be 3 or whatever. So you want to do that, and then you want to sew. You don't want to go back and forth. You just want to run them through, and you want to have a thread, a long thread, because you're going to tie one in. So you're going to have one thread that's kept long. Well, not one thread, but the 2 threads kept long. So you're just going to run it on the straight edge, and all you have to really do is make sure that your machine foot stays on that straight edge, and just run it close to the edge. Okay, and then you want to run it out a ways like that, so we'll be able to pull one end, and on the other end we'll be able to tie it, so then we can gather it. Here's a cream color one, whitish, off-white. You want to do the same thing. And the fabric is very thin, so you want to kind of press it down to your machine so it doesn't float around too much. So okay, and then run it. We're going to see how many we got. I think we got 4 or 5 that are done. So, but I want you to get the idea of that. I promised I'd come back and show you how to do the flowers. And they're putting them on journals, and they're putting them on clothing and purses and everything. So, this would be a nice little, hobby or whatever. I had that on mute, and it just didn't stay on mute, did it? I think we have one more. I have a couple more that are cut, but they're not burned yet. So I'm just going to do these 4 or so. Okay, and then we're going to cut it where we have some string left. So we have the 2 pieces. And then we'll cut each one, but you want to cut it in the middle so you have a little bit to tie. That's why it's important to make them long, in between each one. I'm so excited to bring this to you today because I think they're just adorable. I love making them. And I guess maybe I have 5. Cool. Okay. So on one end, we're going to go ahead and shut this off. We're going to tie. We have 2 strands here: the top thread, and then the bobbin thread. So we're going to tie it in a knot. Pretty good knot, I hope. I hope. Tie it in a knot. I go one little extra just to, and then cut some of that thread off, but not all of it. Okay, then you want to go to the other end, and then you want to take one of these threads and get them apart because they're kind of like chain stitched together. Get them apart nice and gentle, and then one thread you want to pull, And you'll have to be careful with this because if you pull too hard, you'll break the thread and then you'll have to start all over again. So you want to just be a little gentle and push your gatherings all the way down. Come back up here and do a little more. Push, and push, push, and push. So we kind of have maybe just a little more tension. And get it all the way to the tip there. Okay. You don't want it too tight. You want it just kind of floaty, you know, kind of not real tight gathered, but just kind of floaty, kind of like that. Okay, then we're going to tie this end. Take your other little thread there and tie it back in. There we go. Okay, I can cut that. I can cut it closer later on, but okay, so we have one that's gathered. Okay, we're going to set those aside and let's just do the rest of them. That's how you get faster, is you do it like in a production style where you don't just do one at a time. You do, you know, multiple products at one time. It saves you time in the long run and you become faster at it, so then you end up earning, you know, more revenue from it. Okay, we have our threads apart. Now we're going to gather this one. That was, I bet. Okay. My phone is just weird. Some days I push the button and it says that it's off, or it'll say that it's on mute, and all of a sudden I'll still get calls and it's like, okay, I thought I had my phone off. It's like it doesn't really turn off. I don't know. I think it's the case. The case kind of like makes it hard to push the buttons for some reason. I don't know, it's an older case, so I need to get probably an updated case for it. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, and then this could do just a little bit more. Okay. And we'll tie this end. And then the more I do, the more you'll get the hang of it. And then when you go to do it, it's like you'll remember how to go along. Okay, so we have two cute little floaties. Okay, let's do a white one. Okay, so I'm going to get these apart, these threads. The very last stitch, just pull it out and it will come apart for you. So we're going to tie this end. There we go. All right, and then we're going to pull this other end. And this one, well, some of these, they have a little bit of a burn mark on them, but if you go to sell them or anything like that, just make sure that you add that in your description. The process, you know, may have discolored the flower, you know, so make sure you state that in your description, you know, how it is. And most people are like, you know, they understand the process and they're okay with that. But yeah, they're putting these on pillows. You can put them on pillows. Other types of fabric doesn't really work. It kind of catches on fire. So you want to make sure that you're not using like a cotton fabric and you think that you're going to get the same effect. It's not going to happen. I've already tried it. I've already been there. And it doesn't work. It just catches on fire and it's like, oh no. Yeah. All right. We'll get that other thread and we can tie this end off. Here. All right. Okay. So then what you want to do is start to put these together, and I'll show you how I do it. I take a needle and thread. I have a needle here, and let me get, I didn't put any thread over here, so let me just take some from my top thread here. Okay, top thread, and thread your needle. Okay. And I do this with 2 strands of thread just because I want some stability. I want it to, you know, not be real flimsy. I want it to really connect at the bottom. So you just kind of look at it and see how it's curling. Like this one is kind of curling in. See how that's curling in? So we're going to start there, and what we're going to do is, it might be the wrong way though. I'm going to try it. So you just start curling it, and then you take a stitch, put a stitch in it, and then you start curling it some more, and try to keep your raw edges like together at the bottom, at the base of it. Try to keep those together. So I'm just going to take some more. Kind of work from the back end of it, and then another stitch, just kind of hold it, and then once you get it, you know, pretty much in place in the back part here, then you can always tighten it up so it's not so open. You can, you know, make it how you want to make it, shape it a little bit, I guess I want to say. Okay. Yeah, these would be beautiful for like a wedding, or like to decorate the pews of a wedding, or you know, for centerpieces. Make some centerpieces and have these on the base of the centerpiece. There's a lot you can do with this. Go around. Just about there. Almost there. So now when we get to the end, we have this, we have our little threads. We're going to cut those shorter. And we're going to roll this into the flower. We're going to roll the end of it like 2 times into the flower, so your raw edge doesn't really show. Okay. All right, now that we have it nice and tight and the base of it done, you can leave it like that. You can leave it, you know, how it's kind of open, which I kind of like. Or what you can do is push it, you know, gather it up and take some stitches around the base of it. Around the base of it like that, to make it more, you know, tighter looking, you know. It just depends on what effect and what look you want. I kind of like it like that. I think it looks more natural, just, you know, simple like that. So we're going to make sure that we have everything kind of tight here, and then we're going to tie off. I'm going to tie off just because of the fact my thread is getting short. But what I would do if I was ready to put this on something, I would take my needle and go straight up. Well, let me just show you. Go straight up through the middle, have it opened up like that. And then I would go in there and then either put a button, a cute button, or put some sort of a bead or some sort of a, you know, little medallion type thing, you know. I don't think I have a button here. Here, let me do a button. Right here. I don't know how that's going to look with white. Smaller one. No, I don't. All right, I'm going to put this on here. So we're going to go and kind of open it up a little bit. You can fold it down a little, however you have to do it. And then sew your button on and get a hold of it here. Come back up in the other holes. And I'm going to just go back down to my back and then tie it off. I had just enough. So you make a loop and go through the loop, make another loop and go through the loop. That's how you tie it off. Okay, and then clip your thread short. Here. So there, you have the one flower. And then that's how you would do all of them. So you would have, you know, do all of those like that, and then the pink ones, and just really adorable. I'll show you some that I made on some other things. Let's see here, I have one that I made on this pocket. I'm pinned to this mannequin here. I was taking pictures of them. But like these are the same process. Sorry. Don't mind my boots. This is the only shoe that would fit my foot today because I think I broke my toe. And I couldn't wear high heels or anything. So I have these boots on. They don't even look right with this skirt, but good enough. Anyway. So yeah, so I just put some little beads on here, put some little fabric and beads on this one. But see, make it the same way. This one was a bottom of a, like a dress. Bottom of a dress. And so it already had the nice edging on there. So then I cut it up and made that. And then this one was real, you know, like some other type of fabric. It's not the organza and it's not cotton. But it's something, I don't know exactly what you'd call it, like a not nylon, but like a crepe type. I don't know what you'd call it, but anyway, it was a different fabric than the organza. Anyway, and then I just put a big bead on there, and that's this one I burned, and it didn't do so hot, but it helped a little. So, but please do the burning outside, so you don't burn your house down. There's some small little project like this. So take caution and really, you know, watch yourself and do it outside. But yeah, so I thought this would be a fun project for you today for my, you know, business tips. You could turn it into a business if you'd like, or you can just do it for fun and do it just for, you know, DIY around the house and decorate your house a little bit. So that would be fun. Okay. So again, my name was Karen Eiton, and I'm from Talent to Profits. And you're welcome to visit my website. I have a free PDF guide there that you can go and download. And it's 18 Ways to a Creative Business. So it gives you some of my tips and what I think it makes a good little type of business for crafty, creative people. So you can go there and read that guide. It's a nice little read. So, and my website is www.kareneitonfashionadvising.com. Okay, I'll see you next week, Tuesday. Bye-bye.